Hey, what's up, you wrestling fanatics and friends? You're listening to the True Wrestling Podcast, episode 118. Thanks for tuning in. Jamie and I recently had a conversation and previewed Cornell versus Penn State. I know it's too early, but it's too fun not to. I'd like to thank my sponsor, Adidas Wrestling. You can check them out at adidaswrestling.com, Twitter at Adidas Wrestling. You can use coupon code TRUE20 to get 20% off your web order with Adidas. And you can follow Jamie at PAISWT_wrestling, Passwit Wrestling. Without further delay, here is our preview. Back with Jamie, part 2 in our series, Stupid Early Penn State Previews. What's going on, Jamie?
Not much. How are you?
Doing all right.
It's a little chilly out here, so I'm going to give some Build the Dam Oregon State Beavers gear. I take some work trips to Portland every other year, and there's a Beaver store right down the street from the hotel. So,
well, I just heard yesterday that they sent a letter and a phone call to a kid that we used to coach over at the youth level.
Who's that?
Yeah, I don't think they want it out there.
Oh, okay.
But because they weren't thinking D1 until they got some communication from a couple of the Oregon State people. They were thinking D3.
Oh, wow.
I'll tell you afterwards. But yeah, I said, look, if you had a chance to go out there, that's a tremendous coaching staff. And obviously, right, I mean, they had their best NCAAs in years. So
they just got a new assistant coach with Josh Roden.
Oh, I didn't see that.
He left Clackamas Community College after he won his 4th national NJCC team title.
Did someone leave?
No, I don't think. So Isaiah, Engel, I think it's just those. I think they just brought him on.
Gotcha. Well, I know that he built Clackamas into a real power.
Yeah.
And from nothing. It's not like Oregon's a total hotbed, but when you look at their roster, it's almost all New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and California kids, right?
Well, in some of these interviews, he's been making the circuit. I've heard him on a couple of different podcasts now, but one of the things they're saying is how crazy it was when I'm drawing a blank on it. The coach, he beat Askren twice in the final. Pendleton. When Pendleton took over, he couldn't even be on campus. It was middle of COVID. They hadn't met the team. They weren't even allowed in the state or on campus to be hired.
Yeah.
It was just total chaos. So this group that he had these last 2 years, where he was a thrown headgear away from winning the Pac-12 this year.
Yep.
They aren't even his kids.
Right.
They didn't recruit these guys.
Yeah.
This is just what they've done with who's there. So they actually get a chance to recruit their own now.
Totally. And there are plenty of examples of how important a really motivated, hungry coach is. Pendleton's just, the most recent. But, whether it's Bono or if it's Gavin, these guys have turned their programs around pretty quickly. And Pendleton, I think, is going to do the same thing. And the Pacific Northwest needs to keep listening to Jamie and me. You can click the link in the description below. It's free on Rockfin.